viaduct looms like a bird of doom as it ships and cracks. Where secrets lie in the border fires and the humming wires. Yeah, man, you know you're never coming back. Past the square, past the bridge, past the mills, past the stacks. On a gathering storm comes a tall, handsome man in a dusty black coat with a red right hand. He'll wrap you in his arms, tell you that you've been a good boy. He'll rekindle all the dreams that took you a lifetime to destroy. He'll reach deep into the hole, heal your shrinking soul, but there won't be a single thing that you can do. He's a god, he's a man, he's a ghost, he's a guru. They're whispering his name through this disappearing land, but hidden in his coat is a red right hand. You don't owe no money, get you some. You don't have no car, get you one. You don't have no self-respect, you feel like an insect. Well, don't you worry, buddy, cause here he comes through the ghettos and the barrio and the barry and the slum. His shadow is cast wherever he stands, stacks of green paper in his red right hand. You'll see him in your nightmares, you'll see him in your dreams. He'll appear out of nowhere, but he ain't what he seems. You'll see him in your head on the TV screen. Hey buddy, I'm warning you to turn it off. He's a ghost, he's a god, he's a man, he's a guru. You're one microscopic cog in his catastrophic plan, designed and directed by his red right hand. Take a little walk to the edge of town and go across the track, where the viaduct looms like a bird of doom as it ships and cracks. Where secrets lie in the border fires and the
Hello, alright. Now my computer recognizes my microphone. Alright, hello everyone watching this later on YouTube. So I should probably update things. It's been a while since I posted anything on either of my channels. So I wound up in the hospital for heart pain, chest pain at least, high rapid pulse, and lightheadedness. But I'm pretty much okay now. All the tests were negative, so it's always fun to play around with WebMD and try to figure out what's wrong. But I'm going to see the doctor this afternoon, and they'll hopefully figure it out. Could be as simple as anxiety, could be muscle strain, I'm not sure. Could be a really weird version of heartburn. GERD, I think is what it's called, but I am not a doctor, so I have no idea. And then I think I'm going to use this format from now on for making Arkham content, is just streaming it. I'm getting a little tired of editing, to be honest, and streaming can be fun too. So today we're playing the Call of the Plaguebearer custom campaign. Morning Chorus is the scenario. Interlude 2 is what we need to read. In case you don't know about Call the Plaguebearer, if you know your Lovecraft, this is a pretty big clue. I wonder if this art is based on Jeffrey Combs' portrayal of Herbert West. I'd have to check with the person who made the campaign. Dr. Jack, I think, is his handle on the Mythos Busters Discord. But anyway, probably don't need to go over everything that's happened so far. But in case you haven't been paying it or following up on the campaign, I'm playing Winifred and Silas. I kind of regret that. They don't quite get enough clues, and they don't quite, aside from Silas, Fire Axe, and his combo, not great at boss killing, but we'll see. Hey, Dr. Jack, thanks for coming in. I'm having a lot of fun with your campaign. And I'm a sucker for Reanimator. It's like my favorite story. So all right, I think my microphone works now. Yeah, it's showing levels. Yeah, Jeffrey Combs is awesome. The movies are a little weird, but it's Jeffrey Combs. All right, Interlude 2, Dead or Alive. Check your campaign log. If you have earned Grayson's respect, which we have, proceed to Dead or Alive 1. As you leave the manor, Grayson flags you down. We're headed back across town to the facility. Come on, we'll give you a ride. If Herbert West was taken against his will, that's not true. Otherwise, proceed to Dead or Alive 4. You step into the back seat where West is sitting and staring daggers at Grayson as she takes the wheel. He turns to you with a satisfied smile and begins to speak. Proceed to Dead or Alive 6. Let me start from the beginning. You know me as Dr. West. The world will know me as the man who cured death. I have spent the entirety of my life in pursuit of a process to reverse the flaw of mortality. Some time ago, I was approached by a research consortium about moving my process to their underground facility, legitimizing my crucial work from its somewhat squalid origins. Of course, I jumped at the chance. Unfortunately, a week or so back, some of the less scrupulous physicians grew jealous of my startling advances. Dr. Pickman, in particular, that's a story I need to read, talked the imbeciles on the board into appropriating my proprietary serum for his occult rituals. You've seen firsthand how hardy those revitalized by my reagents can be. He and Dr. Robeson likely went too far in folding my work into theirs and created a monster. It escaped after multiple attempts and has managed to infect a good portion of the city with whatever strange substance it derived from. Hence, the intense mutations spreading throughout Arkham. I quit the facility entirely due to disagreements about the use of my serum, and attempted to leave with my remaining pure reagents and notes. I will admit, those reagents didn't make it out of the facility with me. I hope they're still somewhere within. They may prove highly useful. Alright, so a teacher thing. I used to be a teacher. My wife's a teacher. You make predictions. I think Dr. West is full of it for half of that story, but we'll see. If an investigator's deck includes the suspicious briefcase acid, if I can read, we don't. So we'll proceed to Dead or Alive 7. Dead or Alive 7, which brings me to where you fit in all of this. My research required a steady supply of those close to death. I worked in the intensive care ward of St. Mary's for this purpose, and I must say you proved ideal specimens. You fearfully ask West what he is implying. Your worsening condition led to a complicated surgery. When things went wrong, I wasted no time in applying my reagent. It was notable that your corpses didn't react. I requested your storage in the facility morgue just in case. I'm hesitant to declare success so early, but you may be the most coherent experiments I've performed to date. This is ridiculous. You point out to West that you were likely in a coma. And I'm sure you've exhibited none of the common behaviors of the reanimated, a compulsive curiosity, intense fortitude, say surviving gunfire, and certainly not a startling propensity for violence. The investigators must choose or decide individually. Accept the horror of your condition. It can only make you stronger. Read the perks of being reanimated. If you have injected a cardinal reagent, you must choose this option. West is wrong. You know you're still human, despite the damage. You have your sanity, and that's what matters. Read The Good of Humanity. So, to admit things, I did record reading of this interlude, but I chose The Good of Humanity because it said damage, and I'm playing Silas Marsh and Winifred, who are both health over higher health than sanity investigators. So, The Good of Humanity. It doesn't matter how things appear. You're alive. Though your body may not be in great shape, you still have your mind, which is more than can be said of the monsters in that house. And it's that same mind that will get to the bottom of the horrors plaguing the city. Each investigator chose this option must add the Unbreakable Will story asset and the Folly of Man weakness to their deck for the remainder of the campaign. These cards do not count against deck size. And then we will spend our experience. Again, I did that ahead of time just to expedite things. And we're going to proceed to Scenario 4, Morning Chorus. Wrong camera preset. But the Folly of Man, weakness, take 2 direct damage. This effect and this damage cannot be cancelled or ignored, but the flesh is weak. Oh, I read that in the wrong order. Unbreakable Will, a permanent, cannot leave play, has 2 Horror Soak. Reaction when you succeed on a test where you revealed a cultist icon. Exhaust Unbreakable Will, heal all horror from Unbreakable Will. The mind is willing, but the flesh is weak. And previously, Winifred was able to get Hibbs to help her out. So, and Silas doesn't have anything extra in his deck. All right, let's go back to the scenario. Morning Chaos. Morning Chorus. 6:11 a.m. Intro 1. You make your way across town as quickly as you can. The first rays of morning alight a town building in quiet fear. It is eerily silent, no early risers leaving their homes. Not even bird songs disturb the stillness. You focus inward and relax for a moment. Then the first horrible note breaks the air. Somewhere nearby, a voice sings out a dark and compelling melody, a song of hate and sorrow, resounding through the empty streets. A melody quickly joined by a second voice, then a third. In short order, the song is repeated all across the town of Arkham. But no matter how you adjust, you can always hear that first voice above the din, leading the chorus in his eldritch invocations. You feel a sting at the base of your skull and your head goes momentarily fuzzy. Rejoice, rejoice. Rebirth, disease. We will all, they gather, hear the call of the bloody unbinding. Freedom, justice, though he dies, he will rise with the bloody unbinding. Rejoice, disease, they gather. I call you forth. They will break the seal. Freedom, revenge, it betrayed me. It failed. They will break the seal. The bloody unbinding. You don't know what it means, but it has to be stopped. So in case you, again, haven't followed the campaign so far, we have some red text with strike-throughs usually. You can choose to read that or not, and sometimes that makes some gameplay differences. And kind of reflects your curiosity as corpses, if we're corpses. Obviously, we're denying it. Set up, gather all cards. Put each Arkham Alliance location into play the following clockwise order. That's kind of already set up for us. Check your campaign log in a random order for each location not marked as either defended or infected. Mark it as the value that appears less. This is where I forget how many locations we had. We can see. So we have 7 locations. Let's drag this over here somehow. All right, Ma's boarding house is infected. What do we do with infected again? Oh, okay. I think we just write it down here. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 locations. All right, so we need to mark 1. Oops. Unbreakable will. Thanks for pointing that out. So on Unbreakable Will, it's the wrong card. On Unbreakable Will, I assume you can only put 2 horror on it. There's the card. Okay, which location did we not do? Orin Library, I remember. Magic Shop. Yep. Roadhouse. Yep. River Docks. It's River Docks, so I'm going to mark River Docks as uninfected. Or defended, I guess. River Docks. Okay. Check your campaign log. If there are 6 or more infected locations, strike the infected tag from the location. We don't have that. Check your campaign log for each location recorded under defended. Remove the following set cards from the game. All right. So Roadhouse. Let's see. Intoxicating vapors and hibs. Right there. Which location do I use? Is it random? The advertiser. Okay. Bad news. What else? Bank of Arkham. Remove these cards as well. Add each set aside treachery not removed from the game in this way to the gathered encounter cards. Oh, we need to remove the River Docks cards as well. So we just mark that as defended. All right, the rest of these cards go in the encounter deck. Actually, I don't know with these locations yet, so we'll just keep them where they're at. These go in here. These go in here. Okay, I think that's everything. Check your campaign log for each location play that is infected. Replace the current location with the location of the same name from the Fallen Arkham set. Okay, I think that's the other location, I think. Yeah, so it's infected again, Moz Boarding House. So I would use this version, I think. Yeah, it makes sense. This one's Miasma, this one's stable. Orin Library. Ye Olde Magic Shop. and general store. Okay. Place the priest of plagues at a random miasma location and a minister of sickness, ignoring its force condition, with 1 doom on it at the next clockwise location. These will form the initial procession. Note there are rules on the next page for how the procession acts. Okay, let's got all the locations here. So for the Priest of Plagues, I'm just going to hit the R key 3 times. 1, 2, 3. The card on the top is General Store. And it's right there. Okay. Again, I'll hit the R key. Oh, no. Clockwise. So Minister of Sickness will go here. Let's take a look at this guy. Priest of Plagues. 3, 6 per investigator, and 5. Massive, cannot be damaged by player cards or effects. Forced after he moves, place a clue on its location. Then, if it entered a miasma location, place 2 doom on the last card in the procession. Otherwise, grow the procession. It sings songs of death, and you ache to join the chorus. Victory 2, damage and a horror. Minister of Sickness, 3, 1, and 3. Humanoid infected. Forced after Minister of Sickness enters play, move 1 doom from an enemy to the current agenda. Rejoice, he will be again. Damage and a horror as well. Okay, shuffle one of the set aside Fallen Arkham, Elite Fallen Arkham enemies, and each infected enemy. So I think that's going to be there. Let me know if this is wrong. We got the procession deck. Did I miss enemies anywhere? Okay, that's out of play. Oh. So I think I need to take these out. So those are the elites. Oh, that was all the those are the enemies from the locations, wasn't it? Whoops. All remaining treacheries to form, yeah. Okay. Sorry about that. Next page. The Dark Procession. Through Arkham modifies the behavior of enemies within it. When you grow the procession, draw the top enemy, spawn it at the procession deck, spawn at the location clockwise of the last enemy in the procession. Place 1 doom on the new enemy. Ignore both hunter and patrol keywords on enemies in the procession. When the procession moves, move the Priest of Plagues 1 location in counterclockwise direction. In clockwise order, move each other enemy in the procession, disengages from any investigators, move directly to the location closest to the priest with no other procession enemies in the clockwise location or direction following the priest. This can cause them to pass over exhausted enemies' locations. Exhausted procession enemies, aside from the priest, do not move. So I assume when the procession moves, we're going to do that. Okay, when we spawn an enemy, it gains a Doom. And ignore Hunter and Patrol keywords on enemies in the procession. Alright, and then we get to when an enemy in the procession would be discarded from play, it is discarded to a separate procession discard pile. When you draw an enemy from the procession deck, shuffle the procession discard to form the new procession deck and draw the top card. No enemies are naturally in the encounter deck in this scenario. Any effect that would search or spawn enemies from the encounter deck or discard automatically fails. Okay, so we got our deck here. These are other elite enemies. We get to start at a location of our choice. So if these guys are going to be moving counterclockwise, we could just start at the Bank of Arkham. That seems okay to me. And I never remember the ordering of draw your opening hands or look at the location first. I guess it's more information if you look at the deck first. I need to change my color here. So let's do this. All right, so we have anything you can do better during maneuver, 2 of them. Mauser, C96, and slip away. We're going to... Slip away might be a dead card. No, the Minister's not elite. So there's one enemy we can use slip away on. It does have an intellect symbol, but I think we're going to toss that. Yeah, we're going to toss at least 1 daring maneuver. It's okay with, since we have Mauser out, but I think I just want to draw lockpicks at this point. So we'll mulligan those 3. Get 25 automatic. And another 25 automatic. Did I even shuffle? And then Silas Marsh. Unexpected Courage, Daring, Inquiring Mind, Steadfast, and Fire Axe. We'll keep Fire Axe, probably keep Inquiring Mind, maybe. Steadfast is a nice defensive option immediately. So I think we'll chuck... I don't know. Maybe we don't keep Steadfast. We could keep Unexpected Courage, and I guess it fills both roles. Want to get Dark Horse as soon as possible. Let's draw 3 more. Peter's good. Another Peter just not good. Another Fire Axe is not good. All right. Bank of Arkham. Probably read the act and agendas first. And Morning Chorus. Skulls are X. X is the most doomed enemy in play. Max of 4. Cultist is -3, -5 for your a miasma location. If you succeed, place 1 resource on your location from the token pool. The tablet is -3. If you fail, place a resource on the agenda from the token pool. This effect may cause the procession to move. Agenda 1A, Eldritch Procession. A procession of infected follow a bizarre abomination through the terrified city. This agenda has +2 per investigator doom threshold. Each enemy gains X health. X is the doom on that enemy. Forced after you would resolve the place 1 doom on the current agenda step of the Mythos phase. Instead, place 1 per investigator resources on Eldritch Procession. So resources. At any time, if this agenda has 2 or more resources on it, remove 2 of them and move the procession. So that's going to be every Mythos phase, I think. Act 1A, Unstoppable Force. You watch as an agent fires on the horrible priest. The gunfire has no effect, and with a flick of its glowing tail, the agent has joined the chorus. There must be some other way to fight it off. Reaction after you successfully evade an enemy. Remove 1 doom from that enemy. Limit once per round. I think we can manage that. It is 3 clues per investigator. Give everything a good shuffle, and Bank of Arkham. Stable location for now. The institution of Arkham's elite has become a fortress protecting all of Arkham's citizens. It is a Shroud of 1 with 2 clues per investigator. Reaction after you successfully investigate this location, gain 2 resources. Limit once per round. Negotiating with the tellers for funds takes time, but you both know the bank's vaults would take an eternity to supply. Alright, let's get started. So, we feel like the Mauser, the automatic, man, weapons. Not sure if weapons are going to matter. We'll see. Pilfer is going to be pretty good. We could just use it right now. Would be up 4 if we do so. So I think, yeah, let's start with that. We'll play Pilfer as our first action. This investigation uses agility instead of intellect. If you succeed, discover 2 additional clues at your location. We'll give the Chaos Bag a shuffle, though that probably doesn't matter. And we get a -1. So we discover 3 clues. And we're going to gain 2 resources. So, pretty lucky that we started at the bank. And we'll just investigate the old-fashioned way. Let me make sure there's nothing. All right, so the tablet, I think that's only going to matter if we fail twice with that, because every Mythos phase, I think we're going to move everybody. So I'm not too worried about that, other than it failing. Skull is -1, sorry, +2. What does that give us? 5, 9, 10, 11 out of 19. It's not great, but there's nothing much else I could do other than draw a card, grab a resource, which might be okay. Let's draw a card first. Okay, 3 aces, not what we need. Investigate it +2. And an Elder Sign. Awesome. Did not commit anything, however. So we cleared that location off. Silas is going to play Fire Axe and Peter Silvestri. Yeah, I think he's just going to move. We could go after the minister. Wouldn't be too hard to just pick him off, I guess. By pick him off, I mean evade him. We could kill him too. But neither of those things are going to happen on the... Well, I suppose I can move here. We just played Peter. Yeah, I guess I don't really care about damage and horror at this point. All right, the Arkham Advertiser, stable location, rising above the din of the running presses. Actually, that's a pretty bad idea. The thing's gonna just hit me and move. If I got the rules straight, so there's no reason to do that. Let's move to the river docks instead. You will happily throw your lot in with dock workers who seem to have their warehouses well under watch. 2 shroud, 2 clues per investigator. Stable. Reaction: after you commit an eligible card to the skill test at this location, it gains a wild icon, and after this test ends, you may draw a card, limit once per round. There's plenty of dock hands ready to help with anything you might struggle with. Nice. I'm assuming the miasma locations are going to be a lot more difficult, but we'll see. Alright, investigation, enemy, nothing happens because we just... These guys are going to move in other ways. Upkeep. Winfred will take a resource and... I did shuffle, right? 3 aces. Silas will take a resource and Church Keepsake, level 1. Alright, Mythos phase. There we go. Alright, so when we would resolve place 1 doom, instead put, it's going to be 2 resources at any time. If it has 2 resources on it, remove and move the procession. So just to make sure, clockwise order each other ready enemy in the procession, disengages from any investigators, moves directly to location closest to the priest with no other procession enemies. Move the priest, okay, 1 location counterclockwise. So everybody's gonna move over here. There we go. Anything else? Nope, we're good. Keep drawing duplicate cards, so I'm paranoid about shuffling. Winifred's gonna... Excuse me. Winifred's gonna take Coral Miasma. Miasma Hex. That's pretty cool art. Actually, the whole campaign has pretty cool art. Attach the location with the most clues without a Coral Miasma attached. Force when an enemy enters Coral Miasma's location. If there is no doom on Coral Miasma, move that enemy's doom to Coral Miasma. When there are no clues on attached location, discard. So it's going to be on the river docks now. Silas draws Profane Prayer. Peril. Choose 1, grow the procession, reveal the top card of the procession deck. It attacks you as if it were at your location. Shuffle the procession deck. So, grow the procession means we spawn something new. I think. Yes. So we'll just reveal the top card, attacks you if it were at the location, then shuffle. Alright. Grinning Victim does 1 damage, 1 horror. And we could put it on Unbreakable Will. We could put it on Peter Silvestri. It doesn't really matter. Peter's just going to heal his off. So we'll just do that. Alright, so we need to grab the clues. Winifred. Winifred could play a weapon, I guess. We'll want weapons eventually. Silas can, now that he has a triple wild unexpected courage, he can at least investigate once. Yeah, I think I want to draw a card because all I want to play is Cherished Keepsake, so we'll do that first. Let's get rid of that card. Okay, Daring. Now we'll investigate. We'll commit Unexpected Courage. That makes us +3. And tablet is -3, so that's pretty good. And after the test ends, you can draw a card. So regardless if we pass or not. Okay, Overpower. And last action, we'll just play Keepsake's almost seems like overkill here, but might as well. I don't want to draw as my last action. That would be the only other reasonable play. So we'll just put this down. We have a massive amount of Horror Soak. Speaking of, Peter heals himself. I can talk. And Winifred needs to go help here. Limit once per round. So I think we're going to draw a card with her first. Okay. Got Lucky Cigarette Case level 3. Let's get that out. We can move here to the river docks. We have 5 clues. We just need 1 more. And that's our turns. Enemies. Oh, after he moves, place a clue on its location. Whoops. Sometimes I forget reading the enemies. If it entered a miasma location, place 2 doom in the last card in the procession. Otherwise, grow the procession. So we should have spawned something new here. I'll just do that here. Grinning Victim, 3, 1, and 2 does damage on Horror Hunter. If you become engaged with Grinning Victim, lose an action. If you cannot, it attacks you. You spot a strange woman and your vision blurs. When you recover, its maw is inches from your face. Oh, okay. So we didn't need to grow the procession. It's a miasma location. Place 2 doom on the last card. Okay, so this has 3 doom on it. And let's see. This is going to be miasma, so we're going to get more doom. So this guy should have 3 doom. It's going to move here. We can't kill it, so I guess we're just racing the agenda deck. Probably should have tagged along to kill this thing. And that would be something I would know on a second playthrough. Upkeep phase. Winfred grabs Nimble and a resource. Silas gets Madame Lebranche and a resource. Forgot to buy Charisma, but I kind of wanted to buy some new cards, or, you know, try out new cards for Silas. And Charisma's kind of boring. Once you played it a million times anyway. And it's not like this is a league game or anything. Okay, so we need to place... We're going to move the procession again. So you place a clue and 2 doom on the last card. Alright, I think that's enemy movement. This is Miasma, so the agenda's gonna resolve next turn because we're too far away. And let's draw encounter cards. Hopefully my microphone doesn't pick up my coughing. Dread Chorus. Why has it got to be a willpower test? Oh dear. And it's willpower 3. If you fail, you must spend a clue and place a doom on an enemy in play. That would... Actually, spending a clue would be bad. Doom doesn't matter. We're in the witching hour anyway. We could fight this with anything you can do better. Would be a nice way to use Lucky Cigarette Case. Although we'd only be to 7 against 3, so I don't know if I want to do that. I'd rather use this on the investigation. Silas doesn't really have much to help. Anything to help. You can commit Peter and we'll still be -1. So let's just take it on the chin. Wasted one of our zeros, per se. We have to spend a clue. And we have to put a doom on enemy in play. I'm just going to do this. And Silas will draw damaged goods. Hex and Blunder attached to an asset you control. If you control no assets, gain Surge. Let's see. Take 2 damage and discard. Discard attached asset and attached damage goods to the new asset. All right, so okay, if we play a new asset, we lose the one we have. So that is what we don't want out of that card. Silas can take damage like a champ, though. It just depends if I want to use the action or not. We need 2 more clues. Start with Winifred. And she'll investigate round 1 with anything you can do better. That gains a wild icon, because that card needs more wild icons. So 3 plus 7. We are 10 against 2. Okay, not the red card of death of the morning chorus. That's a -4. So that will be 6 against 2. We'll win by 4 and use Lucky Cigarette Case for 4. Look at the top 4 cards. Let's do this. Interesting. Sharpshooter will be good eventually. Leather jacket isn't bad. We don't have quite enough resources for me to want to play it, but if we draw Lonnie Ritter, then we'll regret not taking the leather jacket. Opportunist is okay. We can't really combo it with many cards. I'm not going to commit 3 aces unless I'm committing 3 of them. So this is going to be good eventually. This is going to be good with the contingency. And this isn't going to be great yet. I guess I'll grab Sharpshooter just in case. And we'll see what happens. Shuffling the rest. So that's clue. We need one more. Oh, I can draw a card off of this as well. Alright, manual dexterity isn't quite what we need. Could take a resource and play a weapon and investigate if we want to try the automatic. We're going to want to evade enemies anyway. But of course that takes an extra turn off of just using a Mauser. We can play Sharpshooter. We could investigate at +1, which is pretty bad in this chaos bag. We draw another card and hope we get lockpicks. Or we draw a resource and play a weapon. I think that's the 2 options here. If we draw a card and get something to help us investigate, that would be good, that even if it isn't lockpicks. Not too worried about weapons yet. We can discard automatic, one of those to hand size. Alright. 3 aces. Now I gotta figure out when I want to use it. I don't want this to have too good to use syndrome where we just never use it. If we use it right now, we would have enough clues to advance. And I kind of plan on drawing through my deck anyway. Conversely, this would be probably better as a fight check or a insurance against a willpower check, but let's just use it, I guess. Alright, investigate, committing all 3 aces. It automatically succeeds. We get to draw a card off of Winifred. We get to draw 3 cards and 3 resources off of 3 aces. And we'll grab a clue. You may want to grab another clue just to get rid of Coral Miasma later. But we draw 3 cards, 4 cards, and gain 3 resources. So let's see what we draw. A jacket, another Mauser, an opportunist, and the Folly of Man. Take 2 direct damage. This effect cannot be cancelled or ignored. Alright, that's our turn. And we get to turn in. Let's turn in during upkeep. Silas. We have enough time to draw a card with him. This is going to backfire if we have to, if we draw his weakness, however. But we can't live in fear of Dreams of the Deep either. Let's see what we get. Newspaper. Let's take a damage to get rid of 2 damage to get rid of damaged goods as our second action, and then we will put out newspaper 2. Not quite as good as in true solo, but I think it'll be okay in 2-player. So, enemy phase. Enemies don't care about the enemy phase in this scenario so far. Upkeep, we are, well, unless they're attacking us, of course. Upkeep will turn in our clues. Yeah, let's turn in our clues. Act 1B, hit and run. As you begin to lose hope that any of your talents will be of any use, you watch a raging citizen drive a truck directly up against the priest. While the initial impact and explosion do nothing to harm the beast, the creature does not change its path to avoid the accident. With horrible tearing noises, the grotesque monster drags itself directly through the flaming wreckage. By the time it reaches the opposite end, it has begun to bleed. Shuffle 1 set aside Arkham Elite enemy and the procession discard. Just this. Until the end of the game, each infected enemy gains force. After this enemy enters a location with any barricades, remove as many barricades as possible up to this enemy's remaining health. Deal that much damage to this enemy. Keep this card as a reminder and advance to 2A. 2A, movable objects. You have the solution. If you can build up giant barricades in the path of the priest, it'll tear itself to pieces, breaking through them. Reaction, after you resolve an ability on a stable location, place a resource on that location as a barricade. Then, if there are 3 resources per investigator at the location, remember they've rallied that location. Group limit 2 different locations rallied per game. Action, spend up to 2 clues as a group. Place that many barricades on your location. I will be right back. Yeah, this is a side effect of streaming in the mornings for me. Hopefully it's not too annoying. Again, hopefully my microphone is good enough that it just blocks that. Or doesn't pick it up. I was going to play music with this. Let me see. I don't know if it'll work or not. If it's too loud, let me know. Just kind of want it in the background. See if we can turn that down enough. If you can't hear it, that's kind of okay too, to be honest. Alright, rest of upkeep. So we can just resolve abilities to place resources as barricades. We can spend up to 2 clues as a group to place barricades. Both of those things are okay. Where's our stable locations? We have 1 Hibbs Roadhouse that we are close to, but the enemies are close to that as well. So we're going to want clues, of course. We could follow behind the procession to gain clues that the priest dropped. Kind of keeps us out of the line of fire as well. So that's 2 options. Let's do the rest of upkeep. Went for a Gets Pilfer. That's pretty good. We'll see what the shroud values are. We need discard down to 8. Get rid of the automatic. You only need 2 weapons in our hand. Kind of like the automatic, or the Mauser better. And gain resource. Silas will draw sharp vision. That's good to see. And resource. And then Mythos is going to roll over. Let's see how bad that is. Or the agenda rolls over, rather. And I think this happens first, though. So let's do that. So, yeah, Miyazumo just had 2 more Doom on... Oh, I deleted that guy. It's meant to delete the Doom. It's going to have to do the most stable action in Tabletop Simulator. That's the rewind function, but it looks like it worked. Though now my game is frozen. Let's hope it fixes itself. That's good. Alright, we just want the Doom to go away. And we place a clue on its location. Does these guys move 2 times or 3 times? I'm not sure. Could be wrong. Let's flip this over. Agenda 1B, Ominous Ritual. One of the procession's number is overcome by rapturous emotions. The procession halts for a moment, circling around the unfortunate soul. You watch in abject terror as the poor man's flesh falls from his bones, his voice still singing all the while. Before this terrible sight can shake the infected townsfolk from their revelry, another figure steps in to take its place. Place a Doom on the Priest of Plagues. Discard up to 1 non-elite enemy from this procession and place this aside Worshipful Thrall into play. So that's this guy. Their minister goes away. And put the Thrall into play. At the discarded location. Or discarded enemy's location. As part of the procession, remember to place Doom. Anything else? Nope. Alright, Worshipful Thrall. 4 attack, 2 health to evade humanoid infected, aloof, patrol nearest miasma location. Forced after the hunter enemy's move step of the enemy phase. If Worshipful Thrall is at a miasma location, search the encounter deck and discard for a mindless Thrall and spawn it at Worshipful Thrall's location. And it whispered that soon, if we all call the tune. 1 victory point, 1 health, or 1 damage, and 2 horror. Agenda 2A, Song of Sacrifice. The horrible chorus is reaching a fever pitch. Your time is running short. This agenda has plus Doom per investigator Doom threshold, so it's 8. This should have been 8 too. Oh well, I think we popped it at 7, but each enemy gains X health. X is the amount of Doom on the enemy. Force when you would resolve the place one doom on the current agenda step. Instead, place one per investigator resources. At any time, if the agenda has 2 or more resources, move the procession. So that makes it a little bit easier for true solo. Let's draw some cards. Whispers of Power. Attached to the highest non-cost, non-ally asset you control. It is a hex. As additional cost to trigger an ability on an attached card, you must take a horror. Attached card has action, returns asset to your hand, and discard any attached Whispers of Power. Alright, that'll be interesting. Let's see what the strategy is for that. Driving Urge, test willpower 4. If you fail, move one location towards the nearest miasma location. If you fail by 2 or more, take 2 horror. Not too worried about the horror. One location's just going to move us here. That's fine. So we'll just take it at -2. And Skull is -1, I think. So we fail that. We take 2 horror. We'll just put 1 on Unbreakable Will and 1 on Peter. And we move here to Hibbs' Roadhouse. Patron pulls the curtain to the side and spots you. He smiles, nods, and makes a chopping gesture. 3 shot, 2 clues per investigator. When you succeed by 2 or more on a test at this location, heal 1 damage or 1 horror from a card you control. Limit once per round. Patrons of the Roadhouse gamble on your actions and cheer you on with every victory. Alright. What can we do with this? So we either take the horror, or we have to lose 2 turns and 2 resources to get it back out into play. I think we'll take horror for the moment. When we need it again. And then let me make sure act deck. Let's show here. No. After an enemy enters the location with any barricades, remove as many barricades as possible up to this enemy's remaining health. Deal that much damage to this enemy. Okay. And we need 12 barricades. 13 barricades, I think. No, 12 barricades so far. No, 13, sorry. 13 barricades so far. Alright, if we use these reaction abilities, we can get more barricades on it. So that's good. Rallying a location, we would need 6 resources. I'm not sure if that's going to happen, but maybe once. We don't have the ability to really deal with Hibbs' Roadhouse, a Shroud of 3. We could play Silas first and move him. He does have 4 investigate right now, but +1 isn't good enough. Could use Sharp Vision. If we do that, it's 3 + 2. So that'd be 7 against 3. And we could discover 2, possibly 3 clues. Let's try that. All right, so we're at a 7 against 3. Anything else we want to discard? We could discard Madame Lebranche. If we ever get Dark Horse out, we'll probably want to switch off Peter. So I don't really want to commit Madame here. So we'll be up 4. Okay, we're up by 2. So get an additional clue here and an additional clue here. So that's awesome. And then we succeed by 2. Heal damage or horror off a card you control. So that's another barricade. Or 1 barricade. And 3 clues. Which is pretty good for Silas. And then we need to spend 2 clues as a group to place that many barricades on our location. We want to move at least once. We'll have to decide if we want to kill the thrall. It is aloof, we'd have to engage it. And it'll put a thrall on us, so that's not great. We could keep lagging behind. Fight-wise, we have plenty of resources to do that. So if we want to fight this guy, we would need to be... if we went here, we'd get a thrall on us. And it would attack us. So I'm not sure if that's fantastic. We could go to the general store. We don't want to stay here. And I think we want to place a resource, another barricade on this thing. So barricade move to the general store, I guess. We can chase the thrall down later. All right. Spend 2 clues. Do we need to be there as a group? No. Okay. It's good to know for later. Place another barricade down. I'm going to get out of the way. The general store, miasma. The fire that claimed the store may long be ash, but the smoke still rises in emerald plumes. Forced. After you start your turn at this location, discard 1 asset you control. 2 assets if you control 5 or more assets. Ow. Alright, so I wonder if we're just not going to get clues from these locations. So maybe avoid the miasma locations, I don't know. Could try 1 more move next turn, just see if we if our assumptions are correct. We can get a clue off of the magic shop. So we spent clue, investigate, move. Yeah, it's our turn. Heal Peter. Figure out which asset we want to lose. Might be Cherished Keepsake. We can replay Fire Axe though, so maybe that one. Winifred, we would like to remove that clue. Pilfer is overkill. We commit Opportunist to get 2 icons. And put a barricade down, which is just as important. So let's do that. Investigate. We're a 4. No, we're a 5 against 2. And we get a barricade. Let me make sure that's correct. Yeah. All right, up 3. Autofill, first of the day, so we can't complain about luck too much. But we lose opportunist, of course. We get to draw a card. Arrogance, great. We could just commit this and just try to fail the test. Because if this test fails, it goes away. Or this card goes away. So do that again. We are 2 against 2. If you fail, place a resource on the agenda from the token pool. Okay, that again, it doesn't really matter. It's gonna roll once a turn. Anyways, I don't think I want to move. Yeah, I'd like to deal with the docks if possible. Okay. And that is our turn. Okay, enemy phase. After the hunter's enemy's move step. Is that before or after enemy's move? Or hunter enemy's move? Not sure. Let's see if it says this here. Oh, it's not going to move. It moves during the Mythos phase. Okay, so search the encounter deck, discard for a Thrall, and spawn it right here. Alright. There are no mindless Thralls. I didn't miss anything. Alright, never mind then. Upkeep phase. Winifred will draw Sneak By and a resource. Doesn't have to discard yet. Silas will draw Brute Force and a resource. And let's start the Mythos phase. Alright, so we gotta move. Priest is gonna take a damage, 2 damage. For moving into those barricades. We need to grow the procession now. So we're moving on to stable locations. And we get to put a clue on this. Okay, growing the procession, drop the top enemy, spawn it at the location clockwise of the last enemy in the procession. Place Doom. So we got that grinning victim. Let's Doom on it. We have 3 Doom now. Out of 8. So we have to be aware of that. Bad cards. Sacrifice of the Profane. Test agility 3. If you fail, choose the nearest enemy with Doom on it. You must either take direct damage equal to the amount of Doom on that enemy or move all Doom on that enemy to the agenda. Alright, we're up 2. We could try to draw some cards off of Manual Dexterity. We could use Manual Dexterity and Nimble, though we don't need to move, so maybe not that. Let's use Manual Dexterity, try to get some card draw off of it. So we're up 5. -3, we're up 2. Okay, so we do get to draw a card off of Manual Dexterity. We can take a Horror to look at the top X cards. Let's do that. Top 2 cards are the lockpicks we need. I don't really care about the other one, but it was Daring Maneuver. Then we'll draw a card off of Manual Dex, which is going to be Faustian Bargain. So that was good. You Know Too Much for Silas. Treachery. Put this card in play in your threat area. At the end of your turn, take X, where X is the number of cards in your hand. 4 or less than the number of cards in your hand. Then discard You Know Too Much. Fortunately, we are set up pretty well for horror at this point, so I'm not too worried about it. Alright, what do we need to do here? Okay, we can't fight the Grinning Victim this turn. We're too far away from it. You have to discard an asset we control, so we'll lose the Fire Axe. We could... So for Silas, we either need to follow the procession and grab clues, or we need to go to places like the Advertiser, get clues. We're not close enough to fight. I wonder if the Miasma locations are just going to be all terrible. We could move to the Magic Shop, and if it's got an annoying start of return ability, then we can just move out. Move. Kind of a waste of an action, but kind of got to figure this out. So we'll move to the Magic Shop. You realize with some dismay just how many of the relics kept here are made of now corrupted flesh. Alright, so yeah, it also has a start of turn ability. When you start your turn at this location, you may draw the top card in the encounter deck. If you did not, discard the highest costed non-ally asset you control from play. That would be Peter. So I don't especially want to end my turn there, which means we have to move twice. Down here to the Arkham Advertiser. Rising above the din of the running presses, editor Doyle Jeffries uses years of practice throwing screaming fits to warn the survivors of Arkham. 2 clues per investigator. After you play an event at this location, draw a card and gain a resource limit once per round. Alright, sounds like job for Winifred eventually. Winifred could try to pilfer here. It might not be a bad idea. So that's Silas's turn. We take 2 horror off of this, off of You Know Too Much. Peter can take 1, and Unbreakable Will can take 1. And then turn ends, we heal Peter. Alright, Winifred. Probably lockpicks, use lockpicks. Try to commit something. Want to get out sharpshooter eventually. We don't have to. Let's play lockpicks. Let's investigate. And we're going to commit Faustian Bargain, mostly to get a resource on this. But we are a 9 now. Okay, nice one. Success. That would have been an amazing lucky cigarette case usage, but otherwise not a big deal. So I have a clue. This goes away. Then we need to move as well. And we'll just go here. We're going to get a bunch of enemies out pretty soon, so we're going to have to go into fighting mode sooner than later. Alright, but that's our turns. Nothing goes during the enemy phase. Upkeep. Winfred's going to draw lockpicks. We don't really need, but that's okay. Silence will draw Steadfast and a resource. Alright, let's get to the Mythos phase. We're at 3 Doom out of 8. We're going to move here. Move. Priest Plague takes 2 damage. He moves to a stable location, so he needs to grow the procession. Seraphim of Bloody Unbinding gets Doom. 4, 2, and 2 Monster Infected Retaliate at the end of the Mythos phase. Put a Doom on Seraphim. There are 3 or more Doom on Seraphim. Move 1 Doom from Seraphim of the Bloody Unbinding to the agenda. Witness the call. Witness the Bloody Unbinding. So we need to kill that thing right now. And we are not superbly set up for that. We have Brute Force. But we're not even close enough to doing this. So I have to do it next turn. We might have to move right to the Seraphim's location. And we have enough horror healing for that not to be a big deal, although... Yeah, I probably don't need to play Fire Axe. Let's start with bad cards first of all. Damage good. It's asset you control. Yeah, it's going to slow us down a little bit. Dread Chorus. Test willpower 3. If you fail, you must spend a clue and place a Doom on an enemy in play. We don't want that. We'll commit Steadfast. We have 12 remaining. So it gets... we get to willpower 5 for this. 5 against 3. Anything else we don't need? Let's be 3 up by committing Peter. And we won by precisely 0, so that's good. All right. So Silas needs to turn into a fighter. This guy's gonna move every turn. Problem is, if we move here, Silas is gonna have to Draw the top card of the encounter deck. That's not great. And an enemy's going to spawn here anyway. We could target other enemies. Yeah, we go fight. We fight the Thrall this turn if we want. No, we can't. It's got patrol. Aloof. So we're going to have to set ourselves up to attack next turn. I think we need to go to the general store to do that. Let's go move here. Then we move, lose an action, and then we can fight. All right. Yeah, let's do that. So Silas will move. He will play... Fire Axe. He's going to have to lose an asset next turn. Might be Peter. Yeah, it might have to be Peter. Gives us room to play Madame Lebranche. Just good to mess with our horde, though. But we have a unused cherished keepsake, so... Yeah, I guess I'm okay losing Peter. Can we do anything else? Could have drawn a card. But we don't quite... I don't want to draw a weakness as the last action of the turn, so probably should have drawn first. Oh well. Winifred needs to get rid of damaged goods right now. She could stay here. Investigate to put a barricade down. We need to get to the Arkham advertiser eventually. If she stays here and plays a gun, she'll take damage in a horror. That's okay. Then she can move, engage, and fight the Thrall. What do we need to make that successful? It's probably sharpshooter. Sharpshooter, a gun, leather jacket. That's 8 resources, which we don't have. Well, we have to play sharpshooter and Mauser. And then take a resource, I guess. We could investigate, though. That would be probably better for the barricade. Okay, let's do that. So 2 actions, spend everything. Oh, it's 2 resources. Okay, we have enough resources then. We'll investigate first. With lockpicks, just to try to get rid of that, or make sure we succeed to any crazy token pulls. Warp a lot. That's 1. Could use lucky cigarette case and take a horror to look at the top a lot of our decks, so we'd probably do that. Let's see, we were an 8 against 1, so we succeed by 6. Let's see what we have. We'll take Lonnie Ritter, I think, although we're not going to have the resources for her. Take Faustine Bargain. Yeah, that's fine. And we draw a card off of this ability as well. Which is Reckless. So we have to commit, or we don't have to commit, but we commit this. Other cards cannot be committed. If it fails, return the skill card to your hand. If it's in your hand at end of turn, reveal it and lose 2 resources. Okay, not a big deal. All right, then we have 8 resources, which means we can play Jacket for fast, play the Mauser, and play Sharpshooter. That'll be all of our resources and all of our turns. And I guess we're not going to get hit by this guy yet. But we'll get hit next when we move away, so not a big deal. You guys don't do anything, right? Should have put Doom on the Seraphim. Alright, upkeep. Lonnie Ritter and a resource. So let's get a Trash Keepsake and a resource. Alright. Let's move everything. Priest will take damage. Thrall will move here. Victim will move here. Seraphim will move here. It's a stable location, so we need to grow the procession. We get Ma Matheson. Comes with the Doom. 2 damage, 1 horror. 3, 4, and 3. Hunter. Don't think that matters. After any amount of damage, a horror is assigned to an ally asset from Ma Matheson's attack. Exile that ally. Alright, so we don't put that on allies. Okay, bad cards now. And so I remember, put a Doom on this. How much Doom do we have? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 out of 8. That's not great. Call of Unbinding. After you defeat an enemy, draw the top card in the counter deck. We could spend 2 clues to discard. Then sacrifice the Profane. Test agility 3 if you fail. Choose the nearest enemy with Doom. Either take direct damage equal to the amount of Doom, or move all Doom from that enemy from the agenda. We have Peter for 1 last turn, so we are up 2 on this. And that's as good as we can get. And -2, so that's good. Good enough. Alright, so Winifred needs to attack the Thrall. Okay. We're going to take a damage and a horror. And we'll just do this. Take it on Leather Jacket and Unbreakable Will. We need to spend an action to engage. Then we'll spend an action to fight. So we need to use the Mauser. We need to use Sharpshooter. We have to use... I guess we don't have to use Reckless. I guess it doesn't matter if we're not going to commit anything. Let's see if we're going to commit anything. So the attack uses agility instead of fight. All modifiers to your fight for this attack modify your agility instead. I don't know if you can commit agility icons to this or not, so I'm going to say no, I guess. So we have 5 agility plus 1 with a Mauser against the enemy's evade value, which is 2. So 5 against 2. We'll commit Reckless. And we will get the Elder Sign. That's pretty awesome. Okay, so the Thrall... Oh, each enemy gets plus 1 health, doesn't it? Is that right? Plus X health, X is doom. Okay. So we're not going to kill this guy yet. Which is unfortunate, but it's fine. Do we want to spend a horror to use Lucky Cigarette Case? We'll use Mauser's ability to gain a resource. Probably use Lucky Cigarette Case. So it was 2, 5, 6, 7 against 2. So we get to look at the top 5. We could get Daring Maneuver as a bit of a insurance policy. We could get Opportunist. Also be okay. Let's take the skill card. I could return Reckless to my hand, but I don't think I will. Okay, so we don't need to worry about Call of Unbringing here. Silas could try to finish off the Thrall here. That's probably what he's going to do. Need to get rid of an asset. By Peter. So we're going to move, take a damage in a horror, and then attack through Winifred. So damage in a horror. And we just need to do 1 damage, so we'll use Fire Axe. 1, 2, 3 for additional plus 6, so 10 against 4. Nothing else to do unless we want to get cheeky and use Daring for a card. I think we need to. And -2 means we win. So that kind of worked out okay, because we didn't have to get hit by Call of the Unbinding. And then Thrall goes away. And we get a victory point. And, oh, River Doc says we should have drawn a card to, you may draw a card. It did gain a wild icon. I just won't draw a card then. But it does gain a barricade, which may or may not be relevant. And that's our turns. So Winifred's going to draw. Try mess up my setup here. Daring Maneuver and a resource. She needs to discard. Faustian Bargain might be okay. Not sure if we're going to evade anything with Nimble. We should really hold on to lockpicks as a insurance policy. So we'll get rid of Daring Maneuver, I think. No, we'll get rid of Nimble. Sneak by, yeah, let's get rid of Sneak by actually. Silas will draw Dread Curse and a resource. Dread Curse says add 5 curse tokens to the Chaos bag. So now we have 1,000,000 curse tokens. Sorry, I need to answer my phone real fast. All right. Mythos phase. Priest of Plagues will move. Everything else will move. And then after you become engaged with Grinning Victim, so who wants to engage it? What else are we gonna do? Try to kill Seraphim. That's gonna have a lot of health, unfortunately. Yeah, I'll let Winifred take her. And we lose an action, which is never fun. So Seraphim would get a Doom, but we're going to move a Doom from Seraphim to the agenda. Then we need to spawn something here. This guy moves. Directly to the location closest to the priest. Okay, so we did this wrong. Grinning Victim would move here. This guy would move here. Okay, that's actually better. So we didn't lose an action. Where do we want to put Seraphim? It's going to have 4 health. Winifred can do 2 damage pretty reliably with Sharpshooter. Silas Marsh is pretty well set up to go for a brute force shot here. We'll put it on him. Okay, and then we need to spawn something. Another Grinning Victim, which gains a Doom. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 Doom. So we need to start killing things, basically. Let's start that process with Salos here. Do other things take damage for running into barricades? Yes. So Seraphim takes damage from the barricade. All right, and then we're going to try to brute force things. So it's a basic fight action. So we have 3 fight symbols from this. And if we succeed by 2 or more, deals +2 damage. So we will be committing some things to this. We're 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 against 4. It's almost worth committing overpower. Yeah, we can commit overpower and just return it to our hand. case bad things happen. Okay, no bad things happen, so we'll return Overpower to our hand with Silas's ability. We're going to deal 3 damage to the Seraphim, which will kill it. Discard. Did I throw any enemies in the discard pile? No. Okay, they need to go in here. There goes a bunch of Doom, which is really important. We get to draw a card off of Daring. Less good with Dreams of the Deep. What else do we want to do? We can't attack if we move. Might as well just investigate the river docks to get a to put a resource on or barricade on this. Committing Dreams of the Deep. So it gains a wild, so it's -1. And we have +2 investigating, so we have a total of 3 against 2. Place a barricade on it. It's actually, I think we already did that. All right, up 1. Yeah, we're going to fail with the curse token. Maybe not with the Elder Thing token. Let's see what we got. Unexpected Courage, so let's see the calculus again. +0, so this would combine for a plus... That's +2, so I think we passed that one. Let's get rid of a curse token. And get rid of Dreams of the Deep, which is the most important thing. And that was 2 actions. Final action, just play LeBranche. I think it's fine here. Alright, that's our turn. Okay, Winifred needs to try to kill something. Where do we want to move to? Probably his Roadhouse, so we can investigate that, I think. So if we move here, Grinning Victim engages, and we lose an action, unfortunately. Let's go ahead and fight with the Mauser and with Sharpshooter. So we're going to target their evade here, 2 against 6. With Winifred here, we don't have any reaction abilities to take advantage of, which is fine. So we're up 4. And that's an auto fail. Alright, that happens. Winifred will take a damage and a horror. And then upkeep, she'll draw a lucky cigarette case and a resource. We don't need that. So we can just discard it. So I also draw Unexpected Courage. No Dark Horse this game. And the procession's going to move. So we're going back to these miasma locations. Let me make sure, see what that entails. Oh, we've forgotten to put clues on its locations. Okay, so this gets +2 Doom. River Docks, that wonky investigate check would actually put a Doom or clue on it. Clue needs to go here, and I'm Pretty sure Clee needs to go here as well. Alright. So we have 4, 5 doom out of 8. We need to kill the victim right now. Oh, we can't. We don't have the actions. So is that game? No, he just gets a 6 doom. Okay. So somebody needs to move here. Sounds like a job for Silas. He can investigate if he wants. And use an unexpected courage, because why not? So we're a 4 against 1. Okay, -1. We didn't need unexpected courage, so let's use our ability to retract that card. We get some kind of bonus on there, which is also a resource token. Gain 2 resources. I guess that's okay. Last move, he just needs to be here. We are out of weaknesses, so we can just draw a card for no drawback. Okay. Winifred. Kind of want to just keep her here and do some investigating. So we'll use got this person on her, and we did our turn already, didn't we? Yeah, because she failed an attack. Okay, so I just forgot to do this. All right, damage in a horror. Might have to lose leather jacket, which sucks because we have Ritter ready to go. We'll take 1 more damage. It hasn't been direct damage in this scenario, so hopefully we can be okay with that. She's gonna move the procession. Yeah, I forgot Mom Matheson too. So what should have gone here? I think we had an enemy here. Yeah, the Seraphim was here. Victim should have been here. And Mom Matheson should have been here. Winifred would have moved. So she had 1 action left. And then we were like this. We can just try to evade. We're up 3. I know that's a lot of retconning, but oh well. We try nimble and move out of the way. So I think we were here. Oh, and Grinning Victim would have taken a damage. Could just fight the Grinning Victim. Do you have any fight cards? Daring Maneuver, an Opportunist. Let's try that then. Alright, we'll fight. Sorry about the rules mistakes, guys. 3, 4, 5. We get to draw a card off of Winifred's ability. We didn't do River this ability already, so we'll put a barricade on it. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 against 2. It's -3, so we succeed by 1. Got the draw card. Oh, I'm gonna draw a card off Winifred's ability. Opportunist is gonna go away, but we deal another damage, and the grinning victim goes away. And then we need to draw an encounter card. You know too much. End of turn, take X horror. X is 4, less the number of cards in hand. Oh, 4 less than, yeah. So we take 3 or, so 1, 2, 3. And then discard. Card's a killer. Okay, I think everything's okay now. All right. Upkeep phase, I think. I think I already took my upkeep. Yeah, pretty sure I took my upkeep. If I didn't, it's retribution, I guess, for screwing up all these rules. Let's move the procession. Move to a miasma, so we're going to spawn a new enemy. Directly on top of Silas here. Another grinning victim. Doom. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 Doom out of 8. Okay, bad cards. Losing track. Test agility 6's test gains -1 difficulty for each enemy in play. Oh, that's a good thing, actually. For each point you fail by, add a resource to the agenda or take a damage. Alright, so there's 4 enemies in play, so this is a test of 2. We're up by 3. If we commit something, we could move with Nimble. So that's a good idea. Do I want to commit 2 cards? I don't think so. So we're a 6 against 2. It's a -3. So we succeed by 1, we can move once. Oh, we can move twice because of river docks. And there's a barricade there. And we get to draw a card off of it. And we can move to the grinning victim. We just move to Hibbs's Roadhouse and start getting clues. Problem with Winifred is Call of the Unbinding, and she kind of only hits once a turn most of the time. I think Silas is going to go after Grinning Victim this turn, so can't do 4 damage with him though. So maybe we do need to go here. Start turn, discard an asset we control. That's fine. Get rid of the leather jacket. So I guess we'll do this. Use an action for Grinning Victim. And Silas draws a locked door. Not a big deal for this team. And we can begin. So we need to do 2 damage to this grinning victim. Don't quite have the resources to get out of them for fire axe, which is kind of annoying. Let's use 2 resources and an overpower, I think, for the initial attack. So it'll be 4, 8, 10 against 3. Oh, and we get Elder Sign, so we're gonna return overpower, I think. Let's grab. Ooh. We have daring. Brute force would be good, actually. Let's get brute force. Now, it's not a basic fight action. Unfortunately, we used fire axe, so we still don't kill the grinning victim, but we get brute force back, which is going to be really, really important. That was our second action. Then we're going to fight again. It's going to spend 3 resources to get to a 10 again. Just because there's a lot of curse tokens. -4, 10 minus 4 is 6. Alright, that's a dead grinning victim and 1 less doom to worry about. Okay, and then Winifred's going to go after grinning victim. Sharpshooter and Mauser to be a 6 against 3. Are we going to have time to do Lonnie Ritter and Leather Jacket? With Faustian Bargain, it's a pretty good chance. So we won't commit anything. So we're up 4. Okay, -1, that's 2 damage. See by 2 or more, so we can ready Mauser, which is nice. Don't remember if I took a resource off. I don't think I did. Use it again. We'll be up 2 now. This case, I may just discard a card to be up 3. Yeah, I think it has to be Leather Jacket, not Lonnie Ritter. Up 3. -4. Alright, that's unfortunate. Take a damage in a horror. Winifred's almost gone. Nothing happens to Silas. You will draw Dark Horse, finally. Should have taken a resource during the upkeep. I'm not going to worry about that. Winifred will draw Slip Away. Alright, move the procession. Placing 2 more doom. On the victim. I guess the victim just stays here. Alright, draw some bad cards. Broken Trust. We have no allies. Gain search. Another Call of the Unbinding. So also get Not Yourself. Each time your investigator moves, lose a resource. End of your turn, test willpower 3. If If you're a miasma, we can take a horde to automatically succeed. That sounds good to me. If you succeed, discard not yourself. All right, resources aren't, well, it's kind of a big idea, or a big deal, because we want to play a Dark Horse in the future. Let's play Silas, move him here, and then we're going to need to attack the Grinning Victim, which now has 5 health. So we need to get a big brute force action off here. So we're at 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Honestly, 10, 11 is fine. Okay, that's -5, so we're at 6. We succeed by enough, so we deal 3 damage. And that will kill the Grinning Victim and keep our game alive. Get to draw a card off of Overpower. We spent a lot of cards there, but kind of had to. And we're not like fighting the boss traditionally, so I'm not too worried about that. So Victim goes away, thank goodness. Silas has a couple more turns left. Could move to the Advertiser and try to work on the locked door, I guess. That would be even. Still commit Unexpected Courage. Let's do that. No, we don't have the movement. Well, we can end our turn here. Unless we want to attack things. Don't want to hang out in a miasma location, though. So we'll just move here. Speaking of, we need to discard an asset we control. That'll be a leather jacket. Winifred could... take a resource, play Lonnie, play... Oh, we don't even have the other leather jacket. Okay, Lonnie Ritter is definitely going to get played here. We moved the procession, so I think we need to put a clue on here. Yeah, let's move to this area now. Hibbs's Roadhouse. Investigate with lockpicks, so we are a 8 against 2. We could pilfer. I think with all the curse tokens, I just kind of want to take the 1 clue. All right, +1. We could take a horror to search our deck, but we'd be really close to dying, so we won't do that. We do get to heal a damage or horror off card we control. Seems like horror is the way to go, and we get a resource on this. And I don't think we grabbed a clue off of here. No, we must have. I think there are 4 clues on there. And then lastly, nothing's going to move there, so we can stay. We'll play Lonnie Ritter. All right, so it's doing okay. There, we doing a little bit better after that. Okay. Just checking something. Winifred will draw during maneuver. I think we moved there, so we lose a resource. We can use Madame to just gain it right back. Test willpower 3. It's probably not going to work. Nope. Unless we drew an Elder sign for some reason. Upkeep, draw, meat cleaver, and resource. All right, mythos. We're going to move the procession. Some miasma locations. So Mom Matheson will take 2 Doom. We get a clue on Ma's boarding house, which we haven't really checked yet. Let's draw bad cards. Try to use some deletion there. Broken Trust. Now we have an ally to put it on. Treat attached allies text box as if it were blank. Spend a resource as an action, plus a resource which damage or horror on it to discard. Okay. First thing there is the action. Okay, Driving Urge, test willpower 4. Again, we're -2. Fail by lots. We put a resource on the token on this pool, it's not going to matter. But we need to move. We take a horror. And move towards a miasma, which means we lose a resource. And get to move here and lose a card. Or I think it's turn begins. Start your turn. Guess your turn wouldn't be the round, it would be the investigator phase. So we're going to lose an asset here, unfortunately. Not sure which one we actually want to lose. All right. Let's do Winifred's turn first. Probably want to get rid of Broken Trust, but we'll worry about that a little later. Let's use lockpicks. We are up 5 if we do that. Could try Pilfer. Alternatively, we have 4 clues. We could spend 2 clues to get 2 more barricades on Hibbs's Roadhouse and then just move out of the way. I actually think that's okay. That'll get newspaper activated again. Two actions, and then we'll just move back here. All right, we'll deal with Broken Trust another time. Silas. Mom Matheson's going to be a problem, but we're not moving to any miasma locations anytime soon. Take 2 resources, play Dark Horse. We have to lose something, unfortunately. Lose an asset. Yeah, Keepsake makes sense. If we ended at this location, we could get rid of not yourself, but it's about to become very irrelevant after we play Dark Horse, which we're just gonna do. It's a turn. I don't think we have to go attacking enemies quite yet, so we do that. And then again, we don't care about not yourself anymore. So It would be good to get rid of, just so we don't drop bad tokens here. The tablet, that could technically move everybody if we drew that again. Alright, we'll take a horror and just get rid of it. We're going to lose an asset next turn if we do that, though. I guess we have to lose the newspaper. Yeah, I guess we're going to have to lose the newspaper next turn. Unless we get moved again. Okay, upkeep phases. Red's can draw Slip Away and a resource. Silas will draw Meat Cleaver and a resource. He will not draw a resource. Then we need to move everybody. Okay, move the priest, who's going to take 3 damage. 8 out of 13. We're very slowly getting there. Move Mom Matheson. We need to spawn an enemy here. Mindless Thrall. Put a Doom on it. So that's where the Mindless Thrall were. No, I still wouldn't have gotten it. And I'm going to be right back. See you about 3 minutes. All right, sorry about that. We are back. I think we're making pretty good progress. We have 5 more damage to do to the Priest of Plagues. 3 of that's already lined up. So that's pretty good. I think we just drew bad cards. No, we were about to draw bad cards. Yeah. Winifred. Profane Prayer. Either grow the procession or reveal the top card and it attacks you. I guess Lonnie has a lot of health and sanity left, so we'll do that instead. Just 1 and 1. Okay. Silas. Losing track. Okay, let's see, we got 3 enemies out, so it's a test of 3 against 5 with Dark Horse. We could try to finagle an extra action out of this with Quick Thinking. Let's see, what else is he going to do? He's going to go to the Advertiser and try to pick the lock or break the lock down. We might need to get rid of Fire Axe then. Yeah, let's try it. We'll commit Quick Thinking. So we'll have an agility of 6 against 3. And that's succeed by 1. So you don't get an extra action. We can return Quick Thinking to our hand. May or may not be the play. No. Want to return Unexpected Courage if we have to. So we'll just let Quick Thinking die. Alright. It is our turn. We need to get rid of Locked Door as soon as we can. We have to get rid of a card. Get rid of Fire Axe. Five Doom out. 6 next turn. Okay, so we're up 1. We're up 3. So let's see, we moved, we did this. This is -3. And so we succeed by 0. We get to put a resource on here, which is nice. That's a barricade. And we get to heal off Unbreakable Will, which is nice as well. We lose Unexpected Courage. And then we're going to investigate. It is a 3, so we're up 1. Get rid of Madame Lebranche to be up 2. And that's a fail. Alright. Winifred. So we have 4 resources out. 4 barricades, but it's going to take a while. We can investigate, do a skill card here. We don't even have to succeed. So let's investigate. Daring Maneuver. We're up 2. Okay, resource. I'm going to start tracking this. But again, put a resource on this. So we have enough to win. We don't have any clues now. So that was first action. Second action, move out of the way. And yeah, let's try to investigate here now. So we're up 2. We're up a lot more than that with lockpicks. Okay, so -3, we're an 8, so we still succeeded that. Get to gain 2 resources and put a clue token. Not a clue token. A resource token. Okay, so now we need to survive 2 turns, and we've got it. No enemy phase. Guarding a resource, we get Hibs. Siles take no resources and quick thinking. All right, Mythos phase. These guys move. Takes 3 damage. Spawn a new enemy. So we're at 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So that was close. Driving Urge, test willpower 4. I don't think it's gonna matter. Skulls -3. We take a horror. And then we move here. Gonna lose an asset. Again, not sure where that's my problem. Coral Miasma goes here. And yeah, this is it. It doesn't matter what I do. So I'll just take 3 resources for the investigators. Mythos phase, he'll just move here and die. So end of the enemy phase. Oh, we just lost, didn't we? The mindless thrall just doomed us out. Because it would have stopped here and gotten a doom, and that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Oh, okay, we're okay then. Yeah, we're okay. Because I think this guy. This phase, doom, check doom threshold. When does the procession move? When you would place 1 doom on the threshold, you do that before you check doom threshold, so that'll occur right before that happens. So yeah, we won. I don't think take 3 resources each. Winifred would take a horror from decking herself. Silas takes daring, move here, and that is it. Assuming that is the end of the act. Yeah. So we won by 1 turn. Act 2B, final hymn. With the hideous cry, the head of the priest is sheared from its writhing body, a body that begins smoking and then detonates in a bloody mess. The viscera begins raising into the sky. The worshippers sing a final bar and then fall to the earth, convulsing. Remember that the priest's current location is side of the unbinding. That's going to be the Bank of Arkham. Let's write that down first. Okay. R2. This guy's victory 2. As the horrid music fades from your ears, you watch the bloody viscera of the priest form a strange sigil in the sky. Twisting shapes of green and red, it shifts and pulses like the veins of a living being. You grab hold of the nearest infected and shake them, demanding an explanation. He is freed. He is reborn. You have heard the call and killed us. Our undoing is his unbinding, the bloody unbinding. You made a terrible mistake. New campaign log under the entry for the location, cited bonding. Yep. Campaign log, record that the name of each location rallied. We never got that. New campaign log, record the name of each elite enemy in the victory display is eliminated. So, Worshipful Thrall. Let's move this back over here. I guess the Priest of Plagues is gone too. I assume nothing else in this pile had victory points, but I'll take a look. No. Then we earn victory X, which is 3. All right. And that's it for today. So I'm thinking I want to stream at least once a week. I'm not sure on the day. Time would be 8 o'clock in the morning, Pacific Standard Time. And yeah, I think I'm going to do this format from now on instead of recording. So just practice streaming and all that good stuff. And see you guys later.